studying a level 2 diploma in construction in the built environment course. We're learning different construction skills and how to make a good cup of tea.
Amen. We've also been doing wall tiling up here, floor tiling and cutting around the socket. Here's the flagpole that we made, and there's the bracket up there.
We are all, at the moment, unemployed, which is rubbish. But we want some money, and we're good at what we do, and we can deliver decent work. So, if you want some decent builders like us lot, contact the college.
Originally in this corridor there was heaters, but the school deemed it that they were not needed because all this corridor does is link two buildings together. So they removed the heaters to save energy and electricity. We've managed to save £30,000 just on electricity by reading these monitors and monitoring how we can save energy in different ways.
This is one of the school's main big boiler rooms, and these pipes here have been lagged specially to prevent heat loss and to hopefully push more heat into the building. One of the problems that we had in the geography rooms was that the windows were letting in cool air and the room was becoming cold.
We got paid for new windows with the energy savings, and we got to do new windows for an Okehampton firm, so we're providing jobs for the people in town.
As a result of the new windows being placed in, the room got too hot, so we had to get another Okehampton firm to place these thermostats in, so it regulates the temperature and prevents the room from getting too hot. The industrial name for these energy-saving light bulbs is the T-Vive conversions, and they produce more light but use half of the electricity.
This building also benefits from cavity wall insulation, which basically fills the holes between the walls in this particular bit.
It's the building management system with time zones programmed in.
Right, so what we've done with the energy is we've applied the principle of when it's measurable, it's manageable. On different days we burn different amounts of gas, and this is represented by the decrease, which results from the decreasing temperature and changing temperature in the environment. We can see this in more detail by clicking in on yesterday and seeing the daily pattern, which is represented by the gas boilers. Here you can see from the morning, there's little or no activity in the morning, so that's why there are little or no peaks. And when we get to this point, the peaks are high because people are in college and they need heat for warmth. And as the day goes on, we can see that there's a peak here because of an after-school lesson, and there's no gas burning until the following morning.
Here's a bit of software where we can check how much electricity we're using in each room and how much we're paying for. If we click on this dial here, we can see more fully how much electricity we're using. And if we go to this, we can see a graph. And if I go to ICT room and click on here, we can see how much energy or electricity we used yesterday.
This is a dashboard. It's designed to show us how much energy is being exported and generated by the solar panels and used. This is the pattern of use over the last few days.
One of the major energy loss problems that we have in this college, and within many other colleges in fact, is that heat is coming out of these vents here, as you can see, is going to stay at 2 metre level around the ceiling, and as they come to these square grills here, they're lost.
Which means that the lower portion of this building isn't being heated, which is a massive energy waste. As with the octagon, there is another problem with the heating in this room. The hot air comes in through the vents at the top and then just stays along the roof level and then rises through the hole in the roof.
But this isn't a problem. All we need is a poster to keep the doors shut.
Total of 80 kilowatts.
These inverters are grid connected, so when we make too much electricity for the school, we can export it into the town for use there. Also, we're at the point where some staff are thinking of getting some electric vehicles, therefore we would install some electric charging points, and we are thinking of getting an electric minibus for the school.
The college has been concentrating a lot on renewable energies over the last couple of years. Over my shoulder you'll see a number of photovoltaic cells on our Octagon building. We've also got other cells on our older end of the building behind me, and also on our sports hall itself. This has been generating quite a lot of electricity, especially on days like today. We're also seriously thinking about the contribution that wind turbines can have on our carbon footprint, at the same time as generating a revenue source for the college, which is something that we've all got to be very, very conscious of, especially in times of reduced public funding.
This is the ideal place for a wood-fueled heating system.
What I'm very pleased about is the interest and enthusiasm the students themselves are showing in this. Obviously, what I've already been talking about is about cost savings and efficiencies in that scale, but there's a massive educational value for youngsters to be involved in this process, and we have got groups of students who are working together with our staff in how we are going to take this whole of this educational process further to ensure that all students in the school become more and more aware of the educational side and education aspects of our renewable energy systems that we're putting onto our school site.
Okay, Molly, can you tell us what you did in persuasive writing in English?
In English we had to pick to be for or against wind turbines and create a speech to make the other see our point of view on them.
It's a bit more than a poster because we used 2 different artists and we had to research them before we actually did anything to do with these posters. So first of all we did 100 Twas and then we did John Piper, and then we put together a final design.
It warms up a bucket of water by the sun. Inside there's a whole reel of copper pipes, and at the moment all the water's running around. Yeah, the other day we took it out and I got this graph back and it got to a temperature of 40 degrees.
The green faces are for when the lights are turned off in the room, and then we give them a green face on the desk.
But if they have all their lights turned on, then we have to give them a red face. So in the future, they'll try to put the lights off more often.
Another task we do is to measure the accuracy of the building management centres, and I'm going to check this is accurate by reading it on the thermometer.
Can you give us some examples of how the college have saved energy?
Well, the first thing we did was just ask people to turn off lights, generally save more energy. And then we fitted 3,000 energy efficient light bulbs as well. We upgraded the boilers to more modern, efficient ones and put insulation in so they hold the heat better as well.
As a final phase, we have some very exciting plans to bring these older buildings up to modern day standards, making them brilliant teaching and learning spaces as well as being incredibly energy efficient. This would be a great way forward. Many schools have got buildings of this age and there's some really quite spectacular things that could be done with them with the right backing.